Yeah, I bet you guys have been waiting for this for a very, very long time. I am finally back with LEGO custom minifigure tutorials. I know I've been gone for a very, very long time. I think the last time I did a LEGO custom tutorial was in like 2012. That was like my last one I ever did. But I am finally back in 2014. Yes, almost 2 years since I did my last tutorial, but I am finally giving you guys another LEGO minifigure tutorial. And the reason for me being gone so long is because I've actually been working on Lego minifigures. At the time I did my last one, there weren't really too many that I had left to do, and the ones I did have left were kind of crappy. So I wanted to redo a lot while also doing a lot more minifigures. So that's where I've been spending a lot more of my time. And I've also been wanting to spend more time on reviewing movies and a bunch of other stuff, but I figure focused a lot more time on that. So I'm finally going to bring back my LEGO custom tutorials, and as you can see, I finally do have a steady camera. Both my hands are right here, so the camera quality will probably be very, very good. But I decided to bring the LEGO custom tutorials back this year for two reasons. Well, one, it's Bat year, at least in my eyes, because Batman's 75th anniversary. So I wanted to do a lot of Batman videos, and this is a way of getting out a lot of Batman related videos by giving you guys Batman Lego tutorials. Because these videos aren't incredibly hard to make. I mean, I'm just giving you guys my ways on how I made a Lego Batman minifigure. It's pretty simple. But I also wanted to do this because we have the Lego movie coming out this year, and I figure I might as well get out a couple Lego tutorials before that movie does come out. So with that said, let's get started on my Lego custom minifigure tutorial on how to make a Lego Robin, but not just any other Robin, the first, I believe, female Robin, Stephanie Brown. At least going in chronological order, I know Carrie Kelly is technically the first debut of the female Robin, but that's a whole another argument for another day. But anyways, let's get to my Lego custom tutorial of Stephanie Brown Robin. Now, I first decided to do a tutorial on Stephanie Brown Robin because, one, there's a lot of fans for Stephanie Brown. I mean, there's a lot of support for the character Stephanie Brown. And I figured that doing the Robin Stephanie Brown figure would be a pretty simple figure to make. There's so many Stephanie Brown fans out there that I decided maybe they would want to make a Lego Stephanie Brown Robin, and it's not that hard to make at all. I just looked up a few reference pictures and just made the figure based on those reference pictures alone. So I figured she wasn't that difficult a figure to make, so I decided, why not just make her. It was very simple, very easy figure to make. Now, some of the paint that you will need is, of course, white paint and brown paint. Now, I know the figure doesn't show off any signs of white or brown paint, but I'll get into that in a minute. Also, this is just my personal input, but if you really want to get some good paint detailing and really, really neat paint, you can choose to get a very fine-tipped paintbrush, but what I've been deciding to use is this little push pin right here. The push pin I really like to use because it gets a nice defined line and details down very, very nicely, and it looks very, very neat, and it gives out, I think, a great final product. I don't own a very good fine-tipped paintbrush. The only times I really use paintbrush are, like, say, right here when I need to paint in large areas like the boots. But if I need to do small areas like the lines right here where those little pouches are, I use the little push pin right here. So that's just my personal input. You can do it very differently, but that's just my personal input. Also, a way that you can get fine details as well as just fine details is by using this very new piece of technology called number 2 pencil. Number 1 is fine if you choose to go on number 1 pencil. Never saw number 1 pencil in my life, but whatever. But the way that you can use this is that if you look up a reference picture of a Lego minifigure, you can look at some of the details on the figure and then put them on, say, the Lego minifigure's arm, the Lego minifigure's legs, a torso, or just wherever the details need to be put. And then you can go into them later and put some black paint on them or whatever paint you need. I never had done this before, and I do not know why. I think it gives off such a great it gives you a little bit of practice, and if you mess up on some of the details, you can just erase it and just do it all over again until you get the details right. So I'm baffled that I never decided to use the number 2 pencil technique ever before in my entire life. That's a really sloppy job in my opinion. Again, I have gone back and redone a lot of my minifigures, so with this little technique I did, so you'll be seeing a lot more minifigures redone and maybe a little bit better. Another thing that a lot of people seem to have troubles with when it comes towards the LEGO custom minifigures, especially with capes, is, well, the capes themselves. So you really don't come out with too many capes like this, where it's actually two different colors, like black on the outside and white and yellow on the inside. I'm sorry, I'm colorblind. But the way that I do that is I take any other ordinary Lego cape, like say this one for example. I have or this one for example. I take like a little beat up, really dingy looking Lego minifigure cape, and I just put it on a white piece of paper, not lined, just regular plain bland white piece of paper. Go trace over it with my number 2 pencil, and I just take it, cut it out, and I just color it whatever color I need to. And if it's for stuff like this, I actually trace it 2 times. Yes, that's magic right there, people. I actually go over with actually trace the little cape right here 2 times, and I cut them out and I paint, Sharpie them 2 different colors. That is something that you will need. You will need a fine-tipped black Sharpie and a fine-tipped yellow Sharpie. And what I do is I just combine both the capes, and I have the figure wearing both of them at the final product of the minifigure. And something that you're going to need with the Stephanie Brown Robin is that you're going to need to get the little outer line, the little end pieces right here, the end portion of the cape yellow lining for the cape, and then you're going to paint all the interior parts of the cape completely black. And with the other cape, you're just going to Sharpie it completely yellow, as you can see right here. If you do have just a plain yellow cape that you do want to throw onto this figure, perfectly fine too. But if you don't, again, just, trace out a cape, cut it out, and then just Sharpie it yellow. And then what you're going to do is you're going to combine both the capes and, have it be like this. Inside is yellow, outside is black, and a little bit yellow on the ends. Now for the torso piece, now this is optional. I think it comes out a lot more better looking figure if you do have an actual Robin torso. But if you don't, feel free to go ahead and, make your own Robin torso. I just think it looks a little bit more better with the Robin torso itself. I have made other Robin figures with the custom torso. They didn't really come out all that well. But then again, that's just me. If you are really good at making Robin torsos, then, by all means, go right ahead. But if you do have a Robin torso to spare like I did, then go right ahead and use it. You're going to need a white, God damn it, I'm really colorblind today. I'm going to need a red waist piece, and you're also going to need, of course, what every Robin has, black, oh my god, that's horrible, green legs. But the thing you're going to do is with the red waist, you're going to paint the little, I guess you could say crotch piece right there, green, because Stephanie Brown, it does wear a type of a Robin, what's it called, a Robin skirt. So this gives off that little Robin skirt effect where the torso is actually bleeding in to the legs right there. If you can see right there, it makes the torso piece a little bit longer right here with the little red piece, but also makes the shorts look, pretty short for the most part. Also, what you're going to need is to paint on these type of boots. Before, in a lot of my minifigures, I haven't really done boots, but I actually really like doing boots now. I think they really look very, very nice and very, very cool looking. I think they add a nice little addition to the figure. It's pretty simple, just these little almost triangular boot pieces. Again, what I would do is I go over it in just a number 2 pencil, very, very, at the very first part of making the minifigure, and then I go over it with fine-tipped tool, like a push pin, like so, and I just go over it in black ink. Or if you do have a very, very, very fine-tipped Sharpie, that is also very nice. That is also very good. But I prefer going over it in a fine-tipped object, like a push pin with black ink. It just comes out a little bit more better. That does it for the body, and then we're gonna get to the face. Now I decided to go with a Poison Ivy face from the Lego Batman Batcave set. Well, the Lego DC Superheroes Batcave set, because from a lot of the reference pictures I used, Stephanie Brown was sporting some green lipstick, so I thought this fit very, very nicely. And I also painted on the green domino mask, so you also will need some green paint. One of the many colors used with Robin, but again, go over it in a number 2 pencil first. You got to do that first. I'm telling you guys, please go over it in number 2 pencil first. So that about does it for the face. We'll actually leave that off. We got to put on the cape very later. And also for the hair, Stephanie Brown does have yellow hair, or blonde hair actually, but she also does sport a little hairnet or hair piece, whatever it's called. I forgot what this is called, but then again, I'm not a girl, so I wouldn't know. She does sport one of those little hair pieces right there, which I just used some red paint, so you will need some red paint. Very simple part to add on, so I guess we could piece together hair, head to her hair. So far, so good. And then we get on to the arms. Now, the arms, you will need some green hands, as you can see right there, but you also will need some green arms. Now, where the white paint and the brown paint come in is that when I was making this figure, I didn't have any skin color arms to use with this figure, and if I had used skin color arms, I would have had to paint on the green sections of it, but the green that I have wouldn't have matched with the green with the pants. So what I ended up doing was I ended up mixing both equal amounts of the white paint and the brown paint together to make a skin color tone paint that was close enough to the skin color on her face right here. So that's what the middle section of this ended up being. It's maybe a little bit too pale, too white, too pale compared to her face right here. But again, if you guys are ended up making this figure, you could probably do a little bit better than I did. So yeah, that's one of the middle sections you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to paint it all the skin color that you make white, and then you're gonna have to paint the middle section a skin color tone, so that way it looks like she has gauntlets up here and little sleeves up here. And these little black parts that you can see up here are these little pouch pieces. Well, that paint actually got chipped. That's not really good, so I'll use the other hand, or the other arm. These little pouch pieces right here, you're going to have to paint on, or these little padding pieces. This was extremely hard for me. Again, I think the push pen does get very nice detailing in very, small areas like this done very well, but it was still very difficult to do that. You're also going to have to paint these two little black lines right under it to simulate the little sleeve piece going on. And right here, you're also going to have to get the little padding piece right here, which is really just a rectangle with 3 lines in it. So it should be easy, but, if you're doing it very small section of it like this, it is very, very difficult. But you can leave it out if you want, but again, I'm very big on detail with my minifigures now, and I want to get the best possible, most accurate minifigure down. So that's what you have to do. The pouch pieces or the padding pieces up here and down here are, again, just rectangular or square boxes with 2 or 3 lines in them. It doesn't sound very hard, but it was surprisingly hard for me. Again, you're going to need green hands. So once you get all that, you can just plug the pieces into place, and you will eventually get your Stephanie Brown Robin. Again, you're going to need to put the cape pieces on right here. Just give me a moment. Give me a moment. And once you plug all that into place, you do have your Stephanie Brown Robin. I think, at least in my opinion, it came out as a fair figure. I don't absolutely love the way that this had come out, but it is a fair figure, at least in my opinion. I do think it looks nice. It looks decent. I thought it was alright. Very, very good attempt, at least, of Stephanie Brown minifigure, at least in my opinion. And if you guys have any thoughts on it, please leave them in the comments below. Also, if you have any recommendations for custom LEGO minifigures, please put them in the description below. And if you guys want me to do maybe a Stephanie Brown Batgirl in the future, or maybe even Spoiler, I'm definitely up to it. Maybe Spoiler over Batgirl, but definitely up to doing another Stephanie Brown figure. Spoiler, probably a very, very easy figure. Batgirl's probably a little bit difficult, but, hey. It's Lucius Malfoy hair, if you guys want to know what it was. Forgot to mention that. But that really about does it for my first minifigure tutorial in a very, very long time of Stephanie Brown Robin. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys found this very, very helpful. This whole set and the whole area where I do my video will change throughout the course of making these tutorials throughout the year. But yeah, that about does it. I'm actually really happy to be doing these LEGO custom tutorials again. This is really fun to do, and if you guys find it very helpful, then that, makes me happy and makes me, glad that I'm helping out people out there. So if this video did help you, please, like, favorite, subscribe, do whatever, and that's about does it. So if you found it helpful, please let me know and recommend some more LEGO minifigures below, and I'll see you guys soon next week with any random video. So I'll see you guys then.